Hello everyone and welcome back to Sky Gardens in episode number 5 already. Yeah, we are quite well in already into this wonderful new little series here. In case you don't know, this is a zoo on top of a huge hotel. So in case you haven't seen the first, second, third and fourth episode where we've been tackling a jaguar house and a capuchin monkey habitat, I highly suggest to watch them. You will find a link to the top right now as always, and we are now going into today's episode, which is the first episode that does not really contain an animal, even though you will potentially see some black panthers roaming around in the background or some capuchin monkeys at some point. Today we are only building a restaurant, a sky restaurant so to say, almost like with a little bit of an infinity terrace. Yeah, it's gonna be very exciting because I love the build. I love how this turned out in the end. It's been a fun little Twitch stream. Yes, I said it again. I don't know. Monetization disabled. I don't know what YouTube is doing now. I don't care too much, to be honest. But yeah, we were planning out a lot on the stream, and it was just a very laid back and relaxed stream. However, I want to take that opportunity to quickly advertise myself a little bit here. So on Monday evening, I am going to have a Planet Coaster live stream together with Bo. She's coming back, so to say, a little bit to the Planko vibes, and we're going to have a chilled, relaxed stream, and potentially you guys might get some DLCs if you are with us. So if you don't have anything else to do on Monday evening, consider jumping into my Twitch channel and yeah, just have fun enjoying a little bit of Planet Coaster with us. Now back to Planet Zoo. We are doing what we can do best. We are building in today's episode. As I said, we are going to make this little, I don't even want to call it restaurant. It's just like a little shop front over here. We are definitely going to make a real restaurant though, which is going to be located a little bit more centralized on this freaking huge skyscraper thing. But there will be also a little real-time part at the end where I'm going to explain a little bit more in detail what the exact plan for the future is, and hopefully you guys can still get some ideas in, because I still got a lot of your ideas, and yeah, the next episode will be quite a huge progress, because I said I don't want to make it too long of a series, so maximum 10 episodes. Now halfway through, we didn't do 50% of the build, so I just want to make sure that the next episode has a bit more progress in it, even though this progress in here is quite huge because it's super detailed. That kind of takes always your time as well. It really sucks the time, I have to say, building so detailed. And yes, as always, a live stream is always a little bit slower on the progress, so that's why there is a lot of footage also cut out, but don't worry about that, it's all fine. Okay, and yeah, also today marks an episode where I changed a little bit of my microphone settings again. Microphone settings, I should pronounce that word correctly. You guys need to comment down below if it was a bit better. Well, I think the sound in general is pretty good, but I'm still working around to improve it even more, because I'm looking into making a bit more of some kind of podcasty stuff in the future, and therefore I want to get the system a little bit more secure in terms of my voice. I want to say, no, I just want to make sure that the sound quality is even better, because for me personally, that's what matters most with videos. The screen and video quality, like that what you see on screen might be a bit bad at times when you have bad frame rate or whatever, but nothing is as bad as very bad sound. So I'm always trying to investigate into this, which is a little bit tricky, to be honest, because my room over here is very open. I did already try to improve it with noise cancelling things here on my desk, but it's a lot like a very open room, and therefore we have a lot of hall going on, a lot of reflections of sound and stuff like that. So I'm always running the microphone as low as I can in terms of the gain. However, it kind of was a little bit of a finicky thing to do, because for whatever reason Windows always resets my microphone to 100% gain, which is kind of weird because I have no idea how to change it. Now I found a program now that changes it, at least for the default, and therefore it should be a lot better now, and you should hear way less sound distortions in the background. I do have to admit though that it was very subtle anyways. I believe that most of you might not have caught up on that in the past anyways, but I did hear that and it annoyed me, so I tried to improve this. Now let's talk about this area over here with my most famous word, the terrace. again, you guys tried to help me last time how to pronounce that correctly. So people said it's more like Terrace or Terrace, but I still didn't get how to say that. So Google Translate tells me it's called Terrace, but whatever, it's this thing where you can sit on, and in this time over here it's going to be an infinity design. Not necessarily completely infinity though, because it's not really overhanging, but the idea I think comes across that this one is going to be on top here, and if you're sitting on that, it almost looks like you are in the sky. So you look towards the horizon and you should not be able to see anything of the ground anymore. So that's kind of the idea about it. As the same goes for infinity pools in some hotels. So it's not necessarily infinity, but since it looks like and it seems like you do have this kind of wording. As you can see over here, I was trying to bring a little bit of a design tweak in because I figured that the path layout looks a little bit like a leaf. And so I found the idea kind of nice to mimic a leaf structure over here. So yeah, we were testing a little bit of that, and it kind of worked. I was trying my best here with the pathing to avoid too many color distortions, to make it not as, yeah, I think it was a little bit loud over here. I want to call it loud. There were too many colors, too many patterns, too many different variants of the pathway. So I wanted to calm it down a little bit to make the overall atmosphere a bit more reduced, so that the leaf can actually shine a little bit. So as you can see, we were testing a whole bunch of textures to see which one works the best, and I think I ended up with the bamboo one, I guess. I'm not entirely sure which one I ended up with, to be honest. We will see this in real time, but again, I just changed that a few more times, so I'm not completely sure what exactly happened, but yeah. Now, as you can see, I needed to then finish off this area over here with some foliage. I wanted to make sure that this looks believable in a way, and so I made a little bit of an overhanging garden element. It's like almost like a little overhanging planter, mainly because, and as you can see, this is now happening over here, mainly to cover up this little ugly bit there. And I think this will happen quite a bit more often in this build, just to make sure that we do have a slightly more organic integration of these, yeah, edges, I guess. To be honest though, it's pretty dangerous, so I might consider to have like an overall like rope netting design that goes all across the whole build. But now again, this is again realism versus aesthetics, because the aesthetics of it will definitely be destroyed by putting that in. And I remember that Kane, for example, commented that on one of the latest episode of this whole build over here. He said that he didn't like the revamp of the Jaguar house, which is totally fair, because it looks definitely a lot more strange than with the clean version before. Now, the main reason for that is that you guys were asking so much for the realism aspect of that build that I could consider doing that, but it's quite often the struggle that a realism aspect mostly destroys some of your aesthetics, simply because there is something that needs to be in place in order to make it realistic, but you know, you haven't considered that in the design. So the best design is always when you already consider every aspect of the security from the very beginning and you embed that into the design, which I clearly didn't do, and that is the main reason why it turned out to be, you know, it actually looks like as we have added it later. And which is by no means, it's not a big issue at all. It's, I think, quite often in real life that happens, that things are just not considered from the beginning. And if I might add some examples, we Germans seem to be very good at that lately, whether it's been with airports or train stations. We do not consider things at the beginning and then they need to be added later, which delays the whole process quite a bit. Now, not getting too much into these topics, but honestly, it's quite something very common, that not everything has to be or can be considered at the very beginning. For example, as this little backstage area over there with the venting and stuff was definitely not considered from the beginning, because I needed to make this to hide away the ugly staircase that went a little bit too far and so was poking out of the building. I want to make it clean, and before I had the whole struggle with the pathing again, I just decided to cover it up. And sometimes these things are one of my favorite things in the whole game, because these things make you become creative and make you they force you to rethink some stuff in a totally different way in order to come up with a solution for the problem. And this is something I am enjoying the most with these creative games. It kind of trains you in a way of finding solutions for a given problem in a creative way. And I think this is something that humankind is very good at when it comes to playfulness. Like games and playing games in general helps to become more creative and find creative solutions. So this is why I'm a huge fan of that in general. I think it helps a bunch that, you just try different things, and in an environment of a game, and sorry, I'm just going a bit more off topic again, but it's hard to find topics of what we build, because the next thing will be just a modern staircase design that rounds off this area. However, back to my little off-topic. Now, I think it's really cool that these creative games give you the space and the environment to test different things, because honestly, these designs I'm doing over here, they are all possible because that's just a game, okay? I can always get away with the excuse that this is a game. I can build a freaking zoo on top of a hotel just because because it works. It's no one tells me that it doesn't work, okay? So I can just do it, and it's fine to build in as much as possible the realism aspect, but at the end of the day, this is what you do. You build a zoo in the sky, and you just try to come up with solutions that would be there if you would do it. So it's kind of cool, because again, you wouldn't do that in real life without any training in advance, okay? No one would be there like, hey, let's just build a zoo on top of a hotel without having anything at the beginning. Well, some people would do it potentially, but they would fail hard. So it's kind of cool to have this creative environment of doing it. And there we have, by the way, the random panther, as I said. I'm just checking the age in between, because I kept the game running and made sure that the animal is not dying. That was the main reason why I was always checking it. But yeah. We are getting to the very end of the time-lapse, I guess already it is. Well, there's a few more minutes of time-lapse left. So I'm taking these few more minutes off now. Like, I'm just taking a little break here, because again, this is just designing this area. But I really want to have this little real-time part at the end. I don't want to talk too much about it as of now, because then there would be, there wouldn't be anything left for the last couple of minutes. And so I am now leaving you alone with a little bit more music, and I really hope that I will think of upping the volume before I edit this video, because last time I forgot that. I'm so sorry for that. Normally when I stop having my voiceover, I do see it in the file, and then there's automatically a kind of increase in sound of the music, but sometimes in my old files I forgot to set that, so this is why lately I forgot about this. So it shouldn't be an issue now. I will now try to up the volume for you, and then we see each other in like 3-ish minutes in the real-time part, and I really hope that you are as excited as I am for the next upcoming things in this Sky Gardens, but let's talk more about that in the real-time part. See you after the few minutes. Alrighty, so we are now here on top of this wonderful Sky Gardens, and I just decided to, oh wait, I cannot actually play the game. I decided to just have a little tour. This is a very small tour, it's not really a tour, it's not even deserved the name tour, but yeah, this is the giant anteater habitat. But let me just first look. There's no one in here, right? I deleted most of the elephant grass because it's basically like a solid block. But you can see the anteaters are not really interested in that area though. But no, well, let's just go over here to the restaurant part. We're going to have a look into the habitat soon. But this is what we built today, so I'm quite happy with the outcome. It looks fairly interesting to me. Like, it looks very open, it looks very cool, and this is exactly what I said with the open view. I mean, look at that, isn't that cool? You just have the wonderful view right into the far distance, and you really need to go to the very border over here until you can look down to that lake. And this is again why I asked you guys to send me all of your skyscrapers. I did already receive quite a few, so if you want to still contribute to this project, make sure to send in some skyscrapers that we can place down all the way down here. So that is a little city idea, and then it makes the whole environment even cooler, and it makes the whole immersion even better. But yeah, this is how it looks, and again, as I said, I'm just a huge fan of that. I'm just gonna take a screenshot here just because I like it so much. I mean, just look at that one. It's just, I don't know. It's just, oh, that was the wrong button. This is for me really such a cool view. I really wanted to enjoy in real life at one point. I can really imagine if the zoo is going to stretch out to the back here. That looks even cooler if we have some more habitat, some more lush gardening all over the place. And yeah, that is the little water feature we built. I'm also quite a big fan of that, like with the water lilies and with the green moss, makes the water appear even more dumpy and stuff. Like, it's, I didn't want to make it really like you know, kind of dirty-ish, because I feel like this wouldn't be realistic since that is like a man-made artificial pool. But still, there is some, you know, there is some moss and stuff in here, and it makes the whole water appear greener than it actually is. But yeah, so it's kind of cool. And we have all these plants in here. As we go to the right-hand side, you can see we have to the left our capuchin monkey habitat. There is one dude just playing over here, another one there. Is someone climbing though? I mean, not that monkeys would climb, but in fact, there's no one climbing, right? We definitely have to look for where the animals are. There are so many animals in, but I can't see one of those. Yeah, in here we can see, or we cannot see, a jaguar. Not really in here. Let me just go inside and see if we can find one. Is someone chilling in here? Hello? Oh yeah, there's one dude chilling in here with the babies and the black panther in the back as well. Just see if we can find a better spot to see them, maybe from above, who knows. So yeah, standing over here does give us a little bit of a view. Look at that, I love it. I love it. So that's kind of cool. This building works, and I love how much more quiet it is in here. You cannot really hear the monkeys anymore, and it's really just giving you this wonderful vibe of that room and of yeah, basically this wonderful habitat. And you can see the animals just moving back into their privacy area. Oh, I just love that. Hey, what are you doing? What are you looking at, huh? Okay, is something special there in the stone? Use it stock? No, okay, well, see you later, I guess. Yep, you know, that's a perfect skill. Just go through the rocks, that's awesome. That's cool. Oh, look at that. I mean, it looks so much cooler now with the context of having actually a shop there, and you know, it's really now in a place where it deserves, and that is kind of, oh, look at the view. I'm a huge fan of that. It's really not bad at all. Can I just have a look? Oh, look at that. I mean, this is so cool. I'm just a big fan of this in general, but I'm a fan of this game, so I'm kind of biased, okay? So let's have another look if we can catch someone climbing now. Well, there's someone jumping, not necessarily climbing. Oh, up there. There's someone in the back. There we go. Choo! Okay, well, beamed away. Little Neo Matrix move. Okay, so if we have a look in here, can we actually... Let's take the window over here. Is there anyone else? Where are all these animals? It's almost like in a real zoo where you're really looking for the animals. You know what? We're just taking the backstage access now and gonna check where the animals are. So there are just a few. There's a giant anteater lying down here sleeping with its monkey friends. With all the monkeys coming in here, going for a swim, whatever. And if we just take that route... Oh my god, okay, we went for a little dive here. So there's the other anteater just roaming around here. And if we go to the side, there's basically anyone here. So why exactly do they have a requirement of such a huge space when they always just chill in here? Is this too hot, or why do they do this? I really, really want to know why the animals always keep being only in this area. Like the whole habitat, it's completely redundant. It's completely unnecessary. All the animals are always down here. That is so stupid. Oh well, maybe we can solve that in the future somehow. I'm not really sure how though, but yeah. It would be actually cool to have the animals actually in their habitat where they belong. But well, if they just need a little shelter, that's fine. We can also put them in a box, okay? So if they want to, I'm here to do it. I'm just kidding. But yeah, guys, that's been it for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed the build today of the, wonderful seating area over here, which is slightly raised, and just having the little shop next to it. And yeah, just enjoy the view again, and I hope that you just did enjoy this. And if you want to see more of this project, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And as always, make sure to leave a comment, your feedback, and which kind of animals you want to see next on this rooftop zoo. Now, have a wonderful Friday, and don't forget, tomorrow there is koala time on this channel, and be excited. I went nuts. This is also the reason why I'm running out of content now, because I focused so much on koala this week that there is barely anything else happening, but it was worth it, trust me. Okay, also Yosemite is also coming back tomorrow, so quite a bit of cool stuff. Now, have a good time, guys, and goodbye. See you in the next one. Have a wonderful Friday. Cheers.